What is powerful presence? It's when we harmonize all the parts of ourselves and we become more whole. And others can sense it, and they can see it, and they can feel it. Your energy emits the message of value, of confidence, maturity, even mystery. This is very interesting. You know, people coming across a bit like that. Openness, willingness, and certainty. And from this inner state, you embody presence. And you feel whole, you feel grounded, you feel peaceful, you feel safe, calm, joyful, and perhaps even blissful. You know, it takes away that stressful feeling that's often associated with kind of pushing or forcing or worrying or trying too hard. You're trying to make something happen, trying to push or project your energy or yourself onto people. And when you are present in your body, you feel connected to your essence and you can access your truth. And that's where I'm coming from. We're going to be really connecting in with our essence tonight and experiencing that. And when we do that, then we can access our truth because we have no more interruption or interpretation of the mind. So our truth isn't found outside of ourselves. It resides within us, and it's your essence. And if you listen enough, okay, then you will hear it. And that's what we're going to be doing tonight. So I just take a moment to ask you, what is your truth? Based on what I've already shared with you and what we've talked about, what is your truth here? I want you to grab a pen if you can. I want you to take some time to create a prayer or an intention for yourself for this course for the next 3 weeks. And what do you truly want right now? What brought you here? What is it that you're wanting to be more powerfully present in? And just really listen to your body. So putting a voice to your dreams and desires will begin the awakening of your powerful presence. And what stops you? What stops you from showing up? Just giving you a few minutes to just open into this. Just feel into your heart, feel into your soul, feel into your body, and just what is it that you are really wanting in regards to being powerfully present? And if anybody, wants to just share, if you want to put it out there, sometimes when we put it out there, this is a safe, contained space here. So if we put it out there into the universe and express it, we start giving it momentum. It's a way of saying it out loud by writing it in the chat if you feel comfortable with that. Of course, you don't have to. But mostly this is for your own personal reference. And to be able to see what the results are, in a couple of weeks' time. Great. This is awesome. Thank you, everyone. I'm reading the why you're here and the reasons you want to show up more in your life. It's great. Thank you for sharing. Welcome if you've just joined us. Has somebody just joined us? I think so. Great. We're just writing what our intention is for showing up powerfully, and there's a link to the worksheet in the chat. So feel free to click on that and download that. Great. Yeah. So these are all common things. That feeling of I just don't know how to show up in powerful presence. I'll give you some tools. Shrinking. Oh wow, we're going to talk about that in not today, but we will get into that. What happens in those moments? Imposter syndrome, definitely. Definitely. We often feel that. Who am I to be doing this? Just become more comfortable in your own skin. Yeah. To be seen, whether it's in person, on the screen, like this, wherever. Yep. Beautiful. Yes. Great. Great. Lovely. Wonderful comments. Big voices. I love that. That's a thing, isn't it? Great. Okay. So thank you for sharing and being open. So let's dive in. So you must have an embodiment practice for this to land. As I said, this is not a change in your mindset. The best way to become powerfully present is to embody it, to embody those qualities of value, of confidence, of willingness, openness, certainty, all of those things. Okay. There are 3 ways in which we do connect into the body. And when we connect in to these 3 parts of the body, then we do connect in with our essence, the essence of who we really are, not this outer personality out here. Okay, the person that kind of shows up and puts on a confident face, or the person that is always in the life of the party, because they're kind of covering something up, or the person that kind of comes in and is a smaller version of themselves, or shrinks in moments, in only certain situations, or the person that's afraid to step up onto the stage and to sing, when it's always been your dream. Okay. When we connect in with your essence and you connect in with that idea that I was just talking about, what you really want, and then you start to feel the possibility of it. So how do we connect into our body? So the first way we can connect in, of course, is through the head, if you like, the head point in the body. You might also call this the third eye. Um, but it's where we kind of receive, the wisdom, images, words of things that just come into our awareness, impressions, and it's they're coming through you. Okay, when we tune into our heart, this is where we tune into the feelings of openness, of willingness, of joy, of love, and we allow that to come through us. When we tune into what I call your power center, your core, which is right down sort of in the belly area, and that's what we're going to be focusing on today, we're tuning into your intuition, your core identity, who you are at your core. And it's often referred to this part of your body as the house of communication, of creativity, and gut feelings come through you. Yeah, it's often the place that keeps us feeling either safe or not safe. Yeah. So we're going to be focusing on that. So when we are in, so I guess just to sum up, what I want to say is that there's really two main things that we're going to do. You want to be able to do some of your inner work. Yeah. Tune into the body. Learn to connect to your essence. Potentially clear any energetic blocks. And then be able to show up with a renewed outer presence. So it's the inner presence and the outer presence coming together as one. And that's fundamentally what we're doing here. So I can give you an example of when I did not show up in, powerful presence. So when I, for a period of time, when I was, performing, I'm the type of person that is a perfectionist by nature. And, I have to have things like perfect. And if I commit to something, I give it 150%, and it has to be at that high level. And it's great because it propels me to do well, but it also works as a disservice to me because, I'm always beating myself up for not really being good enough, or, sometimes it can stop me from showing up at all. And so sometimes, I would always want to sing, these really amazing songs, these big, powerful songs. And when I was performing, and, back in the day, it was like Celine Dion songs. I don't know if there's any Celine Dion fans out there. I'm sure there's not. Barbara Streisand, because I grew up listening to that. And, I would just like model myself as an artist on who I thought was some of the greatest singers. Whitney Houston. I sort of, grew up in that era where the power singer was a big thing. And, and so when I went on the stage, I had to nail it. I had to be perfect. I had to be just as good as them. I had to sound as good and deliver as good. And every time I went on stage and I put that pressure on myself and I just missed slightly, or I glitched slightly, and something wasn't quite perfect, I would start to kind of doubt myself and put myself down in a way, and start to think, oh, maybe I can't do this. And all this stuff is filling my head with thoughts that are really kind of pulling me away from who I really want to be as a powerful performer. And that is what started to diminish my power on the stage, because I would get so caught up in my head about being perfect and singing really well and showing everyone what I could do, that I wasn't really truly present to the heart and soul of the message. I mean, most of the time I was, but it was sometimes I would get pulled the other way when I allowed my thoughts and my beliefs and my mind and my perfectionism to get in the way. And it's that sort of stuff that clouds our head, that diminishes our powerful presence. So what kind of thoughts are in your head? What do you worry about? Visualize yourself in that place of powerful presence. Some of you have said, you want it more in your relationships. Visualize yourself now having a difficult conversation with somebody, asking somebody on a date, speaking up to a loved one who you've had a difficult relationship with. Some of you have said that you find it hard to, just to be able to speak on video. Visualize yourself doing that. And notice what thoughts come up in your head, and I want you to write them down. Get all those thoughts on paper. What's coming up for you? Are you worried about who's going to be watching you? Are you worried that people will be saying, who do you think you are? And just get all of those thoughts. Do you get distracted by who's in the audience watching you rather than connecting into what you really want to do? So I'm going to jump up because I want to go through and demonstrate what happens when we are operating, in our thoughts. Okay? So let's just say that I'm walking onto the stage. Okay? So I'm walking onto the stage. Everyone can see me and hear me. Okay? I'm walking onto the stage and I'm about to sing a song. Let's just say that. And I'm going to bring all of my thoughts to the surface. So, oh my God, I want to get this right. I want to present an air of confidence about myself. I want to do a good job, make sure that I hit the top note. Like these are all, I'm just bringing all of this into my awareness. And then I might see somebody in the audience, and it's like it's caught me a bit off guard. Even though I didn't know they were going to be in the audience, I feel a little bit self-conscious now. I'm a bit distracted, and this is where I want to perform from. So it might sound a little bit like this. This is me wanting to do a really great performance. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. So just notice what you felt then in my performance. How did you receive that? And just put that into the chat. How did you receive that? How did that feel? What did you notice about my energy, my body? Yeah, Danielle didn't feel it. No wonder I didn't really feel it. You felt the energy in your headspace? Yeah, because I was in my headspace, definitely. Yeah, I was feeling a little kind of anxious. It brought up my anxiety about wanting to do really well. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was still, thank you, Teresa. It's a good point. I still was able to sing okay, but, it wasn't impactful. It wasn't amazing. Yeah. I can still do my job. I can still get out there and do it, but it's not powerfully present. Look at me. Thanks, Danny. Look at me, everybody. Yeah, there's a lot of performers out there doing that, isn't there? It's kind of like I'm putting on my performance face, my television face, all that kind of thing. You see that a lot. And it's fake. It's false, isn't it? It's like we can see it. I think we just get used to accepting it because it's out there so much. Yeah. Now, thank you for all the comments. You're empowered and confident in your words and yeah, great. Thank you. So now I'm going to pretend I'm walking onto the stage, and now I'm going to speak because I know not, you're not all singers, and so I'm going to communicate. So again, I'm going to bring all those thoughts into my head. A good way, to really distract yourself with the mind is to worry about the outcome, so it's like, okay, am I going to say the right thing? Um, okay, so hello everyone. My name is Danielle Soccio. I'm the creator of Awaken Your Voice, and I help people be more fully expressed in everything that they do. I help people learn how to embody their message so that they can communicate it more effectively and make greater impact, have greater influence, and therefore have greater success in their life. And so it would kind of go on. Yeah. So, what did that look or feel like? I'm going to just explain what I'm feeling right now. So, I don't know if you can see my body, but I am just completely hunched up in my upper body here. So, what's happening is my energy is up here. I'm really, all of my energy in my body is up in the upper body because I'm so up in my head that it draws my energy up here. And so I'm literally disconnecting myself from my core. Yeah. And these are muscles down here, they are designed to support the voice. And this is also where I house a lot of emotions and feelings and things, and truth to express. So if I'm up in my head communicating, then I'm not able to access that support or truth or emotions or feelings. Yeah. So I don't know if you can also notice this, but my voice is a little bit like my voice box, which is this little kind of cartilage area here. If you swallow in your throat, you can feel your voice box just move up and down. And my voice box is actually sitting in a little bit of a heightened position because there's a bit of nervous energy, and that's what it does. So I'm actually not in my really relaxed natural voice. And so if I just kept always doing this, my voice would get thinner and weaker, and I wouldn't be able to make enough impact, and it would probably get a little bit tired too. And I usually have to stop and kind of clear my throat. Yeah. And what else did I feel? Yeah, and of course, I just didn't feel. I felt fake. I felt completely fake. Yeah, I was trying to convince you I'm good, and putting on a little bit of a look at me. I'm confident. Yeah. Okay. Does that sound like normal? Something that you often do? Sometimes, to some degree, we're showing up. Well, not always, in areas where you're not showing up powerfully in your life. Yeah. So I'm just using my singing and my business spiel, as an example. But think about the areas of your life where you might be kind of showing up and just going, oh, yeah, okay, sure, that's fine, no problem, when you really mean no. It's that. Okay. Yeah. So now if I show you the opposite, and I want to now for you to go through a practice with me. Okay. So you can just stay sitting in your chair, but just sit up straight, relax your shoulders. You can close your eyes if that helps, just for a moment. And I want you to go within. And just, you can just bring your awareness inside your heart. Just take a few deep breaths and just feeling into your heart space. And just allowing the shell of your body, just to soften the muscles, just to soften and relax a little bit as you bring your awareness internally. Don't worry if your mind is still a little busy, just keep breathing and keep dropping more and more into your body. And then just drop a little bit deeper into your belly. So bring your awareness down the spine and closer into your belly. Now, for men who are here, if you can bring your awareness into a point which is maybe about 10 centimeters below your belly button, and then back towards your spine. Just drop a little lower and deeper again, and you might just feel a little kind of central core point of the body. And for women, we go a little deeper into our power center. We actually go into our womb space. So just drop deeper into the pelvic bowl. Drop a little lower, soften your body. It can be hard to connect in with this part of the body sometimes, so just, use your imagination. We're not used to connecting in to this deep core. And then just when you've dropped into that point of your body, just drop a little deeper and a bit further back towards your spine. You might start to find a bit of a still point. A core point in your body where you can just be still for a moment and feel anchored into your body, a little bit more grounded, a little bit more calm, a little bit more present internally. And just rest here. Just be present in this part of your body. If you're not quite there, just drop a little deeper down and a little bit further back. It's often a little lower than what you think, that core point. And this is called your power center of your body. It's a core energetic point of the body. It's even called the dantian. Yeah. This is where we hold our deeper of feelings. It's the house of creativity. It's where our creation of our dreams, our desires. And as you're just resting in this part of your body, I'm going to run through that exercise again. Okay, so I'm walking onto the stage, and this time I'm walking, I feel that I'm present. I'm aware of the room and the space and the audience, but I'm more present internally in my body, anchored down into this core point. And at this point, you can open your eyes if you like, or you can keep your eyes closed. But I want you to just receive and just notice how you feel. And if your eyes are open, notice what you see. Okay, so just take a moment to drop deeper into my womb space, my power center. Now I'm connecting in with the essence of who I am, of what I want to express. Amazing grace, how sweet that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. And now, from that same place, as I stay really anchored in, I might introduce myself and say, hi. Hi, my name is Danielle, and I have a real passion for helping people become more fully expressed in their lives. Mainly, it's because something I had to find for myself. And there were areas of my life where I wasn't fully expressed. I didn't feel confident to express the real me. And that was not good. It really held me back and it kept me playing small in life. And I always wanted to do great things. And I just didn't want to be frustrated anymore either with not having my voice heard, not having my voice respected. And so I learned to let go of what was holding me back from expressing my voice. And I now love to share that with people so that you can live a more fully expressed life too. Great, thank you. That just came naturally through me. I did not prepare that because I was speaking from my essence. So just notice, what did you feel? What did you notice? What was different visually? What did you hear? What did you see? I'm so much more relaxed in my body, aren't I? So now my energy was in the lower part of my body. And I'm far more grounded. And when we connect into this lower part of our body, all of my natural support systems that support my voice function. I have access to that natural support. My voice box was able to drop down as well, so now my voice is sitting in its more natural position. It's not sounding sort of high and sort of like fatigued and kind of pulled up like that, you know. It's kind of just settled down. Okay. And so I'm more in my natural, authentic sound, my natural level of where I can speak in a more authentic, powerful place. And from this place, because I'm connected into my core, I can really get stronger in that part of my voice too, if I want to. And I can also get nice and soft. And I can move between those different dynamics to communicate in a more powerful way. I can get louder and softer and change. And did you notice my pace? Pop in the chat what else you saw. Slower, calmer. Yeah, my pace was everything was just paced out a little bit more steady. I wasn't feeling forceful or rushing. There was more warmth, definitely. And warmth connects us with people. It allows us people to open up to us and for us to open up to them. And so that creates connection. I told the story when you sang. Yeah, more sounded more genuine. It felt more genuine because I was actually able to tune into the words and the story I was communicating, as opposed to tuning into my wanting to be a great singer and projecting and forcing my voice onto you and showing you how great I am. Yeah, do you see? So it was a natural state of grounded, safe. I felt quite safe. I didn't feel exposed to you. You know, I just felt safe to express it. I wasn't really, and this is a really important thing. I did not really have any access to the stuff in my head anymore. It just disappeared. When I was completely centered and grounded into my core, I tuned into a whole different place, a place of, what do I want to say? Who am I? What's my truth? What's this story I want to communicate? What do I want to say here? And I was able to just be focused on that, as opposed to when I'm up here in my body and my focus is on this outer stuff, external stuff that I'm worrying about or I'm trying to project. And so you can probably even hear now how my voice has actually changed too, and it just went a little croaky then. Yeah, so now I'm not in a really good alignment. So that stuff I no longer had access to that anyway. It wasn't even in my present state. Does everyone get that? That's really, really critical here to understand. Yeah, great. So it felt more honest and authentic and more engaging. Yes. So that's kind of how easy it is to be powerfully present in your communication. And um, it's that easy, and really want to be able to take you into an exercise with that. And I'm sorry to say that it's so easy. I know that it's not necessarily easy, but it sort of is, because it's giving you a tool and a way to get out of your head, the stuff in your head, and to just embody the qualities that you want to embody. And let's recap. So the qualities that I was wanting to embody was confidence, but I was able to release a more powerful yet graceful confidence, in a way, a more truthful confidence. And you know what that is? The innate confidence that's already exists within us, that we're often covering up. So now I'm going to take you into a practice, and so we're going to go out into breakout rooms. So are you all okay with that? If you're not, please let me know now, because I've got to actually um, put you in a group. So are you ready to dive in and have a go at this yourself? I'm going to give you a task, a little exercise, and you can exchange with another person and practice this for yourself. So just, if anyone's not feeling you want to do this or feeling comfortable with that, just quickly let me know, pop it in the chat, or just pop your hand up. No, we're all good. Great. Okay. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks for being here. Good. So, right. So everyone else is okay to go ahead. So give me a minute to put you into breakout rooms. So just take a little moment while I'm doing that, um, just to bring your awareness back to your thoughts, okay? So you wrote them down, all the crazy thoughts. You're going to start from that place in the exercise. So bring your awareness up into your head. I call it your head bubble. I call it an outer body experience, and you're worrying about things. Yeah, so just bring that energy up into your head, into your body. So we've got 1, I think we've got 7, and that should be perfect. Great. So I'm going to give you instructions. Sorry. Great. You'll have to put your video on for this too, but of course it'll be in the breakout room. So the instructions are, so just everyone sort of listen carefully. The person with the longest hair, if you like, will be person A, and the other person will be person B. Okay? So all I want you to do is you're going to just have about 30 to 6, or maybe about 60 seconds, where you communicate to each other. Okay, so person A is the person that's just sitting there and listening and receiving, and person B is speaking. So no interruption. Yeah, you're just going to speak for about 60 seconds, and all I want you to do is talk about your day, like what happened this morning, when you woke up and how, the course of the day, what happened today. Just something simple like that, okay? And make sure that the first time you run through it, you have all of that worry and the stressful thoughts and anything that tends to come up for you where you're not in your powerful presence and your essence, and just speak for 60 seconds. When that's finished, just swap, okay? Don't discuss it, just swap. Okay, so then person B listens and person A um, does the same thing. Talk from your head bubble. Okay, then you can maybe just have a quick little discussion about that. Okay, very quick. And then take a moment where you um, take a moment, just drop back into your core. So you'll both just probably close your eyes. Go back down into your power center, your power source. Or if you struggle with that, even just start with the heart. That's okay. Yeah. And just have a little moment where you both feel like you've dropped in. And then person A will receive and person B will speak. And you will speak from this power center of your body. And you will talk about exactly the same thing. You'll talk about something that happened today. Okay, so it's the same topic. And then speak for 60 seconds. Somebody can just kind of keep an eye on the time. Then you stop, swap, and then you can have a little brief discussion about what you noticed, what you felt, what you experienced from each other. Okay. And then when that's complete, you'll come back to the main room, and we'll just have a little debrief about that, and be able to answer any questions or just share what you experienced, and call it a night. So, any questions about that?
Hello.
How did you both go?
Yeah, good. Thank you, Danielle. It basically went good.
Yeah.
Right.
Could you feel that difference between the two interactions?
Yes,
Yes.
Danielle.
Yep. There was a clear difference.
Lovely. And what did you notice in receiving Harrison's message, Rebecca? Like, especially when he was coming from a more, the head bubble, and then versus the what specifically stood out for you?
Oh, the specifics were Harrison was a lot more detailed with his day, and just sort of, it just felt it like it came across like he was willing to share more. And that was really cool because it sort of allowed me to become curious about his day. So I actually wanted to sort of connect and ask more questions. So that was really cool. I thought that it was just sort of like more open.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. When we connect deeper into the power center or the womb space, it's we connect with a deeper part of ourselves and our inner voice.
Mhm.
And then did you notice that what you talked about was different? Like the language came out a little
Mm.
different when you had the two different discussions. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
So, there isn't often I find now that when I'm communicating, I don't necessarily over prepare in the way I used to, because I can now just go, I'm just going to drop in and allow some of the stuff that just really needs to come through, because in the moment it's present, to come through, and to be confident with that as well.
Mm.
Yeah. um and even in regards to performance. So it really shifts things, because especially if you're presenting or speaking, in a public forum, you often then end up having to memorize things because otherwise, how are you going to speak? If you're in that frazzled head bubble space,
Mm.
and then you're like, oh, I've got to remember my notes, and I've got to remember, oh, I've got to project my voice across the room. Because somebody told me I have to do that to be, impactful, and we're doing all of those things, and then I've got to just remember, what I'm saying, as opposed to allowing it to just come through you and communicate it more authentically.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's great.
Would anyone else like to share your experience? Harrison, Lynn, Jaita, nice to see you all here. Ellie, what did you notice? Was the
I'm on go.
Yeah, thanks.
I found it was I was more positive being in the more expansive state, and more softer as well, and more smoother. So that was good.
Yeah. Yeah, lovely. Did you find that you were See, I find that when I'm in my head bubble, I have to really work hard to produce the words, and to remember what I'm going to say, or, like it's more informational based. I'm sort of thinking about communicating more information and sort of minor, not so meaningful details. Whereas when I'm more embodied, I'm communicating, more of my feelings and how I felt about it and what it meant to me and
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the in the mind chatter, it's more about, like you said, the details and the facts and the thinking that went on. Whereas when you're in the bodied state, it's more about the feeling, which was good.
Yeah, more feeling, more truth, more paced, well paced, not having to force or rush or panic or do any of that. Yeah, lovely, wonderful. Anybody else want to share your experience of how the two different types of communication felt, either as the receiver or the person speaking?
So I was with Teresa, and what I noticed, I know Teresa really well, so this was an interesting exercise. She brought me into this. But the first time her story came round, it was very typical of the way she talks to us and tells us a story. And there are a lot of details. And the second time around, she ran out of time. I mean, she had too much time. So it was suddenly a lot of details were gone, and she perhaps didn't think they were necessary anymore. So that was, of course, slowing down. And also, despite slowing down, and we both slowed down.
Yes.
And I'd just like to say I found your grounding. So I'm not familiar with any of these kind of concepts, but the way you grounded is actually, it's something I do all the time. I did it since I had kids, and it's my way of falling asleep and having a nap any time of the day when I know that I need a nap or a break, so that I can continue on in the day. And I can sometimes just sort of sleep for 10 minutes, 2 minutes, 8 minutes, just and it's a total refresh. But I actually do that. And I've never considered doing that to bring myself, to calm myself down and bring myself into a better place for communicating.
Yeah.
It's always been just to get through my day.
And that's a really beautiful point you bring up, because you'll find that you have more energy if you're operating more from this embodied place. Maybe, maybe you won't feel as zapped of energy. Because when we're in the stress, doing mode, the head, the worry, I've got to do this, the ego and the personality is projecting all this stuff. It's exhausting. It's hard work. I have to think more, I have to do more, I have to press more, I have to push more, I have to try more, I have to, it's actually hard work.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. And so often what I do, if I find myself getting frazzled, I just stop and I just go, come back into my body, Danielle. I stop the conversation or, I stop what I'm doing. I might be getting frazzled, like even with an email or something, like anything. And then I just stop what I'm doing and I come back into my body, and I go, what do I really want in this moment? What's the clearest thing I can just write in this email right now? Even that is coming from my essence. What's a way in which I can kind of communicate to my kids or my family or to that my partner or whatever it is in that moment? And you just practice, you keep practicing coming back into the body, into your power center. It takes a little minute. You just kind of drop back in, take a breath, drop back down. And the more you practice it, the stronger this will get. Practice it anywhere, notice, practice it with strangers. I find that I remember when I first, started exploring these concepts, I would go to the supermarket and just go, I'm going to be embodied and present, powerfully present with the cashier, and so I would just go into my embodied state, and then suddenly I find I'm smiling and then they're smiling back at me, and there's kind of a little bit of friendly banter, and I'm saying something pleasant. It just changes, those subtle changes of the experience, and I'm in a happier, more comfortable place. And it's a lovely exchange and experience and connection between people, as opposed to my usual like frantic get in there, hand over the credit card, get out, barely make eye contact. And if you think about it, we're often operating like that. And it's practicing it in those everyday situations, right up to those important moments of when you need to get out in front of people, express yourself and communicate yourself to a room full of people.
Can I just quickly say, sorry, because Giddy and I all do know each other very well, but I still got anxious, and I didn't say this to Giddy, I got heartburn. Like bang, it just immediately, it came on when I had to think, what was I going to say? And I know her. I'm not intimidated. I mean, not that you guys are intimidating, but, just the whole vulnerability, don't know the people. Yeah. So I just thought that was weird that heartburn's going now. It was just.
Was that in your head bubble state or in your more embodied state?
Oh, no, in my initial, no, embodied, I felt, yeah.
The anxiety just manifests itself physically, doesn't it? It's
very much, yes.
Stressful. It's like, oh my God, what am I going to say? I have to show up. That's just the personality panicking, going, oh, I have to show up. What do I say? What do I do? And it's just that.
That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's all these underlying things, like it could be, am I going to say the right thing? Am I going to be good enough? All these, like, we've all got the different things, most of us share the common ones, they're the common ones. But it's like when I'm in my head bubble, I'm in that more frazzled state. When I'm in the body, I detach from that. And so the body just immediately calms itself down. And you're able to just show up in this whole new way.
Danielle, may I ask, how quickly can you do it? How quickly can you unfrazzle yourself?
Instantly.
Yeah.
But you guys just did it pretty quickly. Yeah? It just took you a couple of minutes, probably. Like when I perform, I definitely walk onto the stage and I just have a little minute because I go to somewhere quite deep. Yeah. Because I really, if I'm going to go to somewhere quite deep with a song and the story of the song, and I'll really close my eyes and center in, and I'll take a little while. Yeah. But if I'm just, having a conversation, sometimes I might be in a conversation with somebody and they're just going on and on and on and on about details and stuff, the way that, all that unimportant stuff, or they're spilling out their stress and their anxiety and whatever. And I just breathe and stop, drop in, and I know how to respond back without matching their energy. Yeah. So you can switch it on in an instant, but do practice it. I just did this exercise with Tibor, and Tibor's done this exercise with me before, and I noticed, and I hope you don't mind me sharing, Tibor, that there was even more depth in his powerful presence than when I last did this, you know, you did my course earlier this year. Yeah. And so it's gotten more powerful with time. So it's something that this is a tool you'll have for life, you know, and it will deepen and strengthen as you also start to undo and let go of some of the other stuff, because you've got to do that inner work as well. Yeah. Clear away any of those energetic blocks and beliefs and things that hold you back. But this is just the starting point, you know, this is just this is the beginning of this exercise. So when you come back for the next 2 weeks, we expand on this exercise. So I definitely hope that you all, you know, return and are ready to continue this work, because we've just scratched the surface tonight, believe it or not. And that, you know, if you think that that was fairly powerful, then, and you know, pretty quick to feel the difference, imagine if you go deeper into this work, what will happen. Okay, so I'd like to put a little challenge out to you. We'll wrap up very, very shortly, just in a few minutes, but there is some homework on the worksheet. And what I do encourage you is, if you want to show up and increase your courage and your visibility and awaken your impact and practice this process and embody a more, you know, inspiring message, then I invite you to go into my Facebook group, and I've had the link on some emails, but I can certainly send that to you, and to just post a video of yourself. Yeah. The worksheet is in the chat if anyone's asking. There's a link to it in the chat. Let me know if you can't find it. So yeah, I would love for you to just go into the Facebook group and post a video and say, hi, my name is, and I just want to share, you know, this message, and just, you know, have a go at putting yourself out there and communicating from this embodied, empowered state. And I invite everyone just to do that. Just introduce yourself, talk about what you do, if it's, you know, in relation to your business, or why you're just a few words about why you're doing this course. Or you may even like to sing if there's some singers out there, and just keep it short, 30 to 60 seconds. And we don't have to keep it up there forever, but if you want to have a go and just be brave and put yourself out there and show up and just present a short video in a safe space where you'll be supported, then please, that's the challenge I put out to you. Okay, so it's communicating from your power center or your womb space for about 30 to 60 seconds, and you just post the video and have a go and just put it out there. And just practice dropping into your space, your essence, your truth, your power, and express yourself. So does that feel like a doable challenge? Yeah, go for it. You know, it's a wonderful opportunity. And if you see somebody post a video, please send them some comments and love and support, you know, because it's courageous to put yourself out there. Okay. And this work that I'm doing is part of a more in-depth course, my full Awaken Your Voice course that I do offer. And the next one that I'm offering is at the end of November. It's November 25th to the 27th. It's a weekend intensive, and if you would like to know a little bit more about and you think, oh, I'd like to go deeper into this work, I'll just pop a link into the chat, and you can just click on that link and you can just express your interest. That's all. Just click on the link. It opens up a page that just you just express some interest in sort of going deeper into this work and maybe getting a little bit more information about the full course. Because in the full course, we go so much more in depth into this work. As I said, we've just scratched the surface and giving you, you know, some of the core foundational things, but it's an opportunity to really come through the other end a changed person, totally confident in your powerful presence. So if that's something that you would like to get more information about, please just click on that link. And that's pretty much it. So I really thank you for being here. Please ensure you come back for the next 2 weeks. Really commit to this. Show up, and you'll be able to take away these tools for life. And we will be expanding on tonight's practice and doing some more really transformational work and going deeper and deeper each week. So please come along, and I look forward to seeing you all in a week's time. Thank you so much, and have a great night, everybody. I appreciate you all being here and for your sharing and your openness and your willingness. And I'll see you all next week.
Thanks, Danielle.
Great. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Great.
That's great.
I'll post the Facebook group link in an email as well. And please have a go. Be courageous and have a go. Yeah. Thanks, everyone.